I wanted to present to you some of the information I presented to the classes last week for our class meetings that we have for the freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. And Wednesday of this week, seniors will have an opportunity to view this presentation. So the challenge I was presenting to the students is called the We Like It Challenge. It's an 11-day challenge, which I'll talk to you more about that as we progress through the presentation. So here's an overview. I want to go over suspension and attendance data, PBIS review, how you can help, and then 11-day challenge, I Like It campaign. So we always start our meetings, whether we're gathering with colleagues or with students, with going over the TPS mission and vision. And so the district mission, Toledo Public Schools mission, is to produce competitive college and career-ready graduates through a rigorous curriculum across all grade levels by implementing Ohio's new learning standards with fidelity. The district vision, Toledo Public Schools, strives to be an A-rated school district whose graduates are college and career ready. So I started by having slides where students could identify which choice would best match the data that I'll present to them after this slide. So, do you know where we had the greatest number of referrals up until October 26th? Do you think it was fighting, disorderly conduct, failure to follow directions, or other good and just cause? Well, if you chose failure to follow directions, you are correct. Up until October 26th, in the discipline office, we have received 637 student referrals. I will say at this time, at this recording of November the 6th, we are well over 700 referrals. Do you know which class had the greatest number of referrals? Freshmen, sophomores, juniors, or seniors? Well, if you guessed freshmen, you are correct. Freshmen referrals made up 54% of our overall referrals that were sent to the office. Do you believe referrals have increased or decreased since the beginning of the school year? Well, if you guessed increase, you are correct. From September 29th to October 26th, 63% of the 600 and so referrals came during that time period. So on average, how many referrals do you think we received down here in this office? Yes, 20 referrals per day is what we are averaging at this time. So talk a little bit about attendance and tardies. The goal of Ohio House Bill 410 is to reduce suspensions and expulsions for absenteeism, and this was passed in May of 2016. And the state has defined what they consider to be habitual truants or habitually absent or excessive absences. And so students, when they reach trigger points, they will receive a letter in the mail when they have reached 4 days of missing school consecutively, or 6 days in a month, or 10 days in a period of time in a month or so. These are the trigger points where students will receive a letter from this office encouraging their parents along with the child to come in to see me to talk about an attendance success plan. So this school year, we had to put some interventions in place. Currently, we are still waiting for our attendance champions to be hired by the district. So in the meantime, our office is doing the best that we can at this point to make sure that we are providing interventions for our students who have reached those trigger points. So these interventions could be where students, when they reach at this point 10 days out of school, I am referring them to our hearing officer over at their pupil personnel office at Sturt High School. And I will make sure that I get those names on our daily suspension and big list because that's something that's been omitted, and I do apologize for that. So talking about attendance, which class do you believe had the best attendance first quarter? Freshmen, sophomores, juniors, or seniors? Well, freshmen had an 89.35% attendance rate. If You can look there, if you take all the days that the freshmen missed first quarter and take that and multiply it by the number of class periods we have per day, that is 5,649 periods of lost instruction for our freshmen. Sophomores had an 88.68% attendance rate. That includes our 10Rs as well. You can see that their attendance was a little bit better than our freshmen, but they still lost 4,674 periods of lost instruction. Our 11 and 11Rs, 89.42% attendance rate, 3,900 periods of lost instruction. And the seniors were the winners for the best attendance. For our first quarter, they had a 7.82% absence rate with a 92.18% attendance rate, but they still lost 1,983 periods of lost instruction. So here at Woodward High School and all the high schools across the district, we have implemented PBIS, Positive Behavior Intervention Supports, and all of the teachers at this point in the school year, you should have received a stamp where you can stamp the students' cards anytime you observe desired behaviors. So what do we know? Teachers, we know you cannot make students learn or behave. This is something I shared with the students last week. But teachers and students can create environments to increase the likelihood that students will learn and behave so everyone can achieve success. So we'll show what is expected, we'll model what's expected, and we'll remind what is expected and acknowledge doing what is expected. So if we go to the PBIS flowchart, I'm not sure that's going to show up, but let me see, the PBIS flowchart here. I'll get a little closer here. Everyone should have a copy of the PBIS, the Woodward High School flowchart. And I would highly recommend teachers that you will go over the side of the chart that has the teacher managed behaviors, something that you can review again as you think about writing referrals to the office. And please make sure that for every behavior that you are noticing, every unwanted behavior that you're noticing in your classrooms, that you are calling parents. Many times in this office, we will call parents and let them know about a behavior issue in the classroom. And many times the parents would communicate to us they had no idea what was going on. And so even though you may have called a parent in September, and here we are in November, and a new unwanted behavior surfaces, we are encouraging you to call parents again and to make sure that you have a hierarchy of consequences that are posted in your classroom. Now may be a good time to review classroom rules, expectations, daily expectations, and the hierarchy of consequences that students will progress through before they actually get a referral to the office. So I already mentioned some of these things already in terms of how you can help. We have so many students who are tardy to school each day. I'm going to show you, this is like a stack of tardy slips that we issue every day. And it's on average about 100 to 150 students who are tardy to school every day. And so we are asking you, I'm requesting that each teacher will call students, parents who are habitually late to your first hour class, and to encourage them to make sure their child arrives on time or early to school, and to also find out what may be preventing them from coming to school on time. If it's something we can do here at the school to help to facilitate them getting here on time, please let our office know. Update to tardy procedure. I just want to say thank you to everyone for being so patient as we work through this whole tardy procedure. I love these slips here because they are triplicates and we can have a copy here in the office, but these slips to print are super expensive. And since we are going through 100 to 150 of these a day, it is just not wise in terms of money wise to spend money on printing these. So what we're going to do is that students will sign a sheet here in the office, and they'll still receive a blue slip with the time stamps on the back of the blue slip. That was a recommendation that came from one of the teachers, that we put the time on the back. The students will be encouraged to write their name on the blue slip before submitting it to their teacher. And then Ms. Gail will enter each student's arrival time to school. It is important that we get those arrival times in as early as possible. And so that's why we have switched to Ms. Gail putting in those times, because I know that when you're teaching and then when students come in the classroom late first hour, it is definitely a challenge to stop and to put in the actual time that that student arrived. And like I said before, how you could help in terms of reducing referrals, as I also told the students that it takes all of us working together. And so if you could review your classroom rules, the hierarchy of consequences, and go over again the importance of having rules and the expectations you have in your classrooms, that would be greatly appreciated at this time in the school year. And I also recommend that you have your rules and consequences in a visible location in your classroom. So this office has decided to do the 11-day challenge, the We Like It. Our theme song for the We Like It challenge is the Bruno Mars song, That's What I Like. And so the time period is from November 3rd to November 17th, 2017. And how do students meet the challenge? They must not have any office referrals. That includes referrals for tardies and truancy. And what will they win? Every student who meets the challenge will be eligible for an ice cream treat Monday, November 20th. Their names will also be entered into a drawing for tickets to the movie that we sponsored by the junior class on Tuesday, November 21st. And also their names also be in a drawing for a Best Buy gift card. I would like to thank the counseling department, as they were helpful during the class meetings and presenting very important information to our upperclassmen. I'd like to also thank the pupil personnel staff, Mr. Khan, for crunching all the numbers for me, and also Coach Garber for also helping with putting the data into charts that are easy to read for everyone, and also Ms. Fredrickson for really working with me with the numerous emails I sent to her, and every email that I would send to her about a change here, a change there, she was more than happy to make those changes. So I just want to thank everyone for making this presentation possible. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to inquire. Thank you.